Okay, today our essential questions are, what are some specific characteristics of mixtures? So how do we tell mixtures apart? So this is Learning Target 30. So after the notes and practice, you should be able to classify the different types of mixtures. Okay, so you might remember these terms from Target 14. That was part of the extra credit piece. But mixtures are classified in two ways. They are either heterogeneous or homogeneous. Heterogeneuses are mixtures where the substances are not evenly mixed, so it's easy to tell apart. So it's easy to tell what the different parts of the mixture are. So if you take a look at the examples below, a salad and a pizza, you can see the different parts that make up a salad that make up a pizza. So if you can see the different parts of a mixture, that is called a heterogeneous mixture. Then you have homogeneous mixtures. Homogeneous mixtures are substances that are evenly mixed, and it's hard to tell the different substances that make up that mixture apart. They are also called solutions. Okay, so for example, lemonade and milk. Those are both homogeneous mixtures. If you take a look at lemonade, you cannot see the individual sugar and water particles unless you separate it out. Okay, same thing with milk. You cannot see the protein or the fat or the vitamins and minerals that make up milk. It just looks like one solution. So that is a homogeneous mixture. Okay, so let's practice. We're going to do heterogeneous, which is going to be on this side, the mixtures, and then homogeneous, which is going to be our solutions. So we're going to put them in. Okay, so if you take a look at a green salad, ask yourself, can you see the parts of the green salad? I would say yes, you can. So I'm going to put it over here in the heterogeneous mixtures. Trail mix. That was a picture that I showed you earlier in Target 29 that had the raisins, the peanuts, the other different types of nuts, and M&Ms. I could see the different parts of that, so I'm going to classify it as a heterogeneous mixture. A fruit salad. Fruit salad is made up of a lot of different types of fruits. You can see the different types of fruits, so I'm going to say that's also a heterogeneous mixture. A 5-bean soup. Well, if you take a look at the soup and you can see all the different 5 beans, then that's also a heterogeneous mixture. Let's look at seltzer water. Seltzer water is also a carbonated water. It's hard to tell everything that goes in there, so I'm going to classify that as homogeneous or solution. Iced tea. I cannot see all the different parts of iced tea. It just looks like one color to me, so I'm going to classify that as homogeneous. Lemonade we did above. I cannot see all the parts, so I'm going to classify it as homogeneous. Coffee, same thing. I cannot see all the parts that make up coffee. I cannot see the individual coffee grounds in the water, so I'm going to classify it as homogeneous. Mixed nuts, different types of nuts, I can see those. Nuts and bolts, we did a lab with that in Target 14. I can see the parts, so I'm going to put it over there on heterogeneous. And then chocolate milk, I cannot see the parts, so it's homogeneous. A Coke float, I think I could see the different parts. I'm going to check it over here. Okay, so that's what I have so far. Okay, see if you agree with me, and then we're going to check. Coke float, okay, they said you can't see the different parts. I thought you could see the ice cream from the Coke, but I guess I was wrong. So they have it over here as a solution. All right. Okay, so that's the difference between two types of mixtures, heterogeneous and homogeneous. So we're going to take a look specifically at homogeneous mixtures, which are called solutions. Okay, so solutions are made up of what's called a solute and a solvent. A solute is a substance that's being dissolved. I shouldn't put that in there. That's being dissolved. Okay, so a solute is the substance that is being dissolved. A solvent is the substance that does the dissolving. Okay, so for example, if you take a look at salt water solute would be the salt because that's what's being dissolved. The solvent would be the water. And water is sometimes known as the universal solvent because it dissolves a lot of things. Another example of a solution are caves. Okay, caves are made up of water and dissolved carbon dioxide. And that's a solution. Water is the solvent. Carbon dioxide is the compound, that's the solute. And let's see. Oh, this one doesn't work. I forgot about that. And just so you know, if those of you are interested on how a cave forms, okay, this will be linked underneath the video. You can read about it on how a cave is created to make a solution, okay? And you can read about what happens to the rocks when a cave is forming, okay? Or if you want, you can pause this video and just look at it. I'm not going to read through it, but if this is something that you're interested in, go ahead and read about how a cave is created. And here's some other pictures of some caves. Really, really pretty geological formations. There we go. Okay, so when we take a look at solutions, we can classify the solutions by their concentration. And that's the amount of solute in a solution. So it's the amount of the dissolved substances. So if you have a saturated solution, that means that solution contains all the solute it can hold. It cannot dissolve any more of the solute. An unsaturated solution means that it contains less solute than it can hold. So that means it's kind of a weak solution. The solvent can still dissolve more, but it doesn't have a lot of the solute. A supersaturated solution holds more solute than can be dissolved. So what that means is if the solvent can't dissolve anymore, there's not enough of the solvent to dissolve the solute, you'll start seeing solid particles in a solution, and that's called supersaturated. Okay, so if you take a look at this picture, okay, an unsaturated solution means that the solvent, there's enough solvent and it dissolves all the solute, and you could still add more if you need it to be because there's a lot of the solvent. A saturated solution means this is the total amount of solvent or solute that this solvent can dissolve. There's not enough solvent to dissolve anymore. Supersaturated, you'll start seeing clumps of solids at the bottom because there's not enough of the water or the solvent to dissolve the rest of the solute. So you get what's called crystals that grow at the bottom. Oh, let me pause and answer that. Okay, and what's really cool is now you guys actually get to work with unsaturated, saturated, and supersaturated solutions making rock candy. Okay, so I will also have these directions on the website, but just so you know, when you start this lab, okay, you're going to be making a saturated, an unsaturated, and a supersaturated solution. Okay, and here are the directions on how to make rock candy, and you're going to compare which type of solution works the best for making rock candy. Do we need a saturated solution, an unsaturated solution, or a supersaturated solution? If you'll notice, we're using the same amount of water. So that is our solvent. You're going to use the same amount of water, but you're going to add different amounts of the solute, which is the sugar. Saturated, unsaturated will be less, and supersaturated will be a lot more, double. Okay, so these directions will be online for you guys to see, but they're also on your video for you to look at too. I'll just scroll down so you can pause and look at it and read through it. So this is how you're going to make rock candy. This is a very yummy solution. Okay, so hopefully after today we've got an understanding of the different ways that we can classify mixtures. So we classify mixtures as heterogeneous or homogeneous, which are the solutions, and then we take those solutions and further classify them into saturated, unsaturated, or supersaturated solutions. So that is target 30.